Hello and welcome to Coffee with Dr. Carla. I'm Dr. Carla and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. We're going to start talking about a few mental health related issues, and our goal is to hopefully start breaking down some of the stigma surrounding them. So, if you're a client of mine or you even know me slightly, I have an obsession with Brené Brown, maybe not quite to the stalker status. I don't like go finding out where she's at, but it's pretty close to stalker status, and that's because she's brilliant and wonderful, and the way she puts things just makes a whole lot of sense. And if you have no idea who Brené Brown is, you need to Google her and start watching her videos. She is fantastic. Anyhow, she has a mantra that goes like this: don't shrink, don't puff up, stand your sacred ground. And that mantra gets used throughout all sorts of different sessions, but I also use it in my life. And basically what it does is it helps to remind me how to show up, right? So when we show up in a situation, so for instance, we're in the drive-through for Dunkin' Donuts, and we put in our order. We tell them whatever the order is, and we have to repeat it 4 or 5 times, just for them to even start the order. And so, of course, now you're already irritated because you're wondering, am I going to even get what I asked for, right? And then you get up to the window, and they try to hand you something completely different, or it's wrong, right? So how am I going to show up in that situation? How do I show up in the world? In this case, the world is at the drive-through at Dunkin' Donuts. So if I shrink, I'm going to be like, oh, it's okay, no worries, I'll take that wrong one, right? Just some people pleasing. Oh, I know it's been hard. It's okay. I don't need to have the right order. It's fine, right? That's shrinking. People pleasing, not asking for what you need, not saying something when something's not right. And then when we get to puff up would be like, how stupid can you be? I just ordered something simple. You should be able to get it right. Which, add in some swear words and other, types of name calling, and, puffing up is not good either, right? Because they are human, so if we look at what we said for shrinking, it's okay that you made a mistake, but now I also expect you to fix it, right? Yes, I do recognize that, you're overworked because it's, Sunday morning and everybody and their mother's out in the drive-through, right? I get that too, right? But I don't need to call you names. I don't need to yell at you. I don't need to be rude and disrespectful. Which brings us to the last one, which is standing your sacred ground. And standing your sacred ground would look something like, hey, this isn't the right order, and so can you fix this for me? I ordered this. And then when they say, oh, I'm really sorry, that's okay, I hear you, but I really need the right order. Okay? And that example seems very obvious and really easy to figure out, where that motto might fit in when you're considering things. But there are other circumstances where I find myself and some of my clients getting confused when we're talking about standing your sacred ground. And the confusion comes in about whether or not we're allowed to be firm, whether or not we're allowed to be direct, right? Whether or not, I dare I say, even stern, right? Because the confusion is if we have that firm, stern, direct, matter of fact, to the point way of talking and even tone of voice, that we're going to be too much like puffing up. And I think it's really important to note that Standing your sacred ground, right, is that happy balance where we're not people pleasing, right, or just walking away and accepting whatever it is that just happened to us, right? That the shrinking, but we can be firm. We can be direct about things, and if we're not, then it's a little too much like shrinking, right? So people are working hard to not end up in that puffing up. We don't want argumentative. We don't want disrespectful. We don't want name calling, right? But in the attempt to stay away from that, I think often our standing firm ends up looking, or standing our sacred ground ends up looking a little too much like shrinking. And so let me see if I could come up with a good example for you. So Dunkin' Donuts was a pretty passive, indirect. The reality is that set of workers really wasn't directly hitting us, as far as, a personal connection. But let's say that, let's say that you and a friend had made plans to go out Saturday night. And you confirmed the plans several different times throughout the week. Saturday morning comes and you confirm the plans once again, so everything's on track, and you guys have agreed that you would meet at a restaurant, say, at 7 o'clock at night. All's good, you get dressed, you show up at the restaurant 7 o'clock at night, and your friend's not there. So, okay, your friend's running late, no big deal, it happens. Perhaps, traffic was worse than they thought. In fact, a friend of mine and I, we went out to lunch, and we picked different places all the time. And when we picked the particular place, we didn't realize how far it was from her house versus my house. And so it took her a little bit longer to get there. Okay, so what? She's 5-10 minutes late, right? That's fine. But in this scenario, let's pretend that, now we're talking 15 minutes after, and your friend's still not there. So you shoot them a text, say, hey, everything okay? You on your way? And you don't hear anything. So you thought, okay, well, maybe they're driving. I don't want them texting and driving. That's not good. So you give it a couple more minutes just to, wait and see. And now they're 20, 25 minutes late. So now you're like, okay, this is more than just a little traffic, right? So now you call them and you say, you wait. They answer, they're like, hey, yeah, what's going on? What's happening? And you're like, I'm sitting in this restaurant waiting for you, right? Oh, that was tonight? I totally forgot. Okay, so I don't know about anybody else, but I would be angry. Maybe pissed off is a better word, right? And so in this moment, you have your choice. You can be like, that's okay, we'll get together another time, shrinking, right? Or, and this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to go to stand your sacred ground first. Oh, okay. So we confirmed this several different times today, as well as throughout the week. So what do you mean you totally forgot about this, right? I'm here at the restaurant and I'm waiting for you. It's not cool that you just kind of left me hanging. Now, some people would say that sounds an awful lot like puffing up. Well, no, it's expressing the fact that I'm not happy with what happened, right? I'm being direct. I'm not being rude. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm expressing what it is that I'm feeling and how this situation has made me feel. Now, if I want to take it to puffing up, I can't believe you are so rude and disrespectful. I can't believe, we confirmed this several different times and you're such a jerk. Right? We throw in some name calling, right? So I challenge you to kind of use Brené's mantra, don't shrink, don't puff up, stand your sacred ground when you're considering how to react to different situations. But also, I challenge you, if you're already using a mantra similar to that one or one similar to that when you stand your sacred ground, you can be firm. You don't have to, hesitantly go into it. All right? So it's important to express what you're feeling and why you're feeling it, but in a respectful way. That's standing your sacred ground. So remember, you can change your thoughts, discover your potential, and transform your life by focusing on your overall well-being. So until next time, continue on being the best you possible. Bye.